Unser Jr. Tributes and accolades throughout the morning. Mario drove with 9 other drivers who were all champions in the PPG IndyCar World Series and was recognized by the President of the United States and certainly by the fans here at Laguna Seca. We are live now as Mario Andretti prepares for his final moments. And for Mario and the rest, this has been a season of confrontation, conflict, and competition. From the beautiful Laguna Seca in Northern California, it's the Toyota Grand Prix of Monterey featuring the Bank of America 300. Hello and welcome to the final race of the season. I'm Paul Page, and today marks the end of an era. Mario Andretti is retiring from the IndyCars, and Mario is truly unique. No other race driver has ever done what Mario has done in his 5 decades behind the wheel. Mario is the only driver to win at Indianapolis, to win a Formula One World Championship, to win at the Daytona 500, and to line up a whole string of IndyCar victories. I was there at Indianapolis Raceway Park for the Hoosier Grand Prix in 1965 to see his very first victory in IndyCar, and today, well, this is the final run. The morning has been spent praising Mario Andretti, and that's as it should be, because no other driver has done for the sport what Mario has. The name Andretti is synonymous worldwide with racing, and Mario, too, has brought racing up a level or two in class. Now, the new breed sweeps in, led by his own son, Michael Andretti, who at the end of the day will pick up the title for the most wins of an active driver when Mario retires. And, of course, Al Unser Jr. These and many stories on the line here today as we go to the pits and Gary Gerald.
Paul, here at the head of this grid, it's really hard to believe that after a career of 31 years and more than 400 starts in an IndyCar that the career of Mario Andretti is now coming to conclusion. Whatever he's gone, whatever he's done this entire weekend, he's just been engulfed by well-wishers, fans, family members, friends. It's just been so astounding. The emotions have run the gamut. The satisfaction of all the career accolades, the love and the support from his family. A touch of melancholy, of course, realizing that this is his last time to savor moments just like this in the IndyCar ranks. And I think, frankly, there's going to be a relief that this crush of attention is about to end. But right now, you can see down in this cockpit, all of the emotions are being shuttled aside as a true racing legend gets ready to pursue an all-encompassing love of his life for one final time. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Well, Gary, although Al Unser Jr. has already won the PPG title, today is a unique opportunity for Al. You see, he's tied right now with 8 wins of Michael Andretti's from 1991. If he wins today, it'll put him over the top with 9 wins and IndyCar record. On a side note, he chooses a song each and every race that he listens to. He turns on the radio. The first one that comes on, that is the song of the race. Today, it's Mustang Sally, ironically, the very same song that was on at Long Beach and at the Indy 500.
And for many of the other drivers, today is a final opportunity to show off, to show what you can do. And for some drivers, Derek Daly, that means a promise yet unfulfilled.
And really, a promise is only fulfilled when you actually do win. Now, 2 drivers who are very close this season is Bozell and Robbie Gordon. To that elusive victory, they have one more opportunity to fulfill the promise. Now, the cars they'll use this afternoon, well, and the cars like any other big team are useless after this afternoon. afternoon, so he can use them or abuse them, whatever is necessary.
Now, the temperatures are warm here. They could go to 90 degrees, and for that reason, the crews are concerned about tire wear.
Yes, and the unusual temperatures have actually made tires a big story here, because for some reason, after as little as 10 laps, these rear tires seem to go off, lose grip, and that provides handfuls for the drivers in the cockpit.
Now, it's not only the end of Mario Andretti's IndyCar career, it's also that of Nigel Mansell, who after 2 years and 1 championship, when this race is over, is hopping in a helicopter and then a jet and heading off to Formula One in Spain.
And the reigning champion is taking with him so far just 2 struggling second places. But what else will he bring to Spain? A good result or an excuse? He's got 84 laps to help write that next chapter.
Now, they've provided so many special opportunities for Mario today, and here we're ready for another one. As Mario alone will start his engine first, it will be commanded into life by members of his family.
Mario, start your engine.
All right. Ceremonial command, and Mario's motor fires off.
Are now started, and the field up and down, 29 IndyCar drivers are ready to take their final rollout for the season. We'll be back right after this. To the final race of the IndyCar season on ESPN is brought to you by Toyota Cars and Trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires. And by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Monterey featuring the Bank of America 300 as the IndyCars now roll up the pit hill, led by Mario Andretti. They've given him the honor of leading the field about, and as you saw a moment ago, and no doubt we'll see this entire lap, many of the corner workers and the IndyCar safety crews have come out to the edge of the circuit to wave a final farewell and look at the career of Mario. That particular group of statistics will be attached to no other driver before him or certainly ever in the future. A remarkable life. He's the true American dream. Came to the United States as an immigrant and worked his way to glory and riches and perhaps most of all, the adulation of his fans. So Mario Andretti will lead the field around, and then he will drop into his assigned position. But the crowd lines the fence here, all of them cheering, all of them saluting Mario everywhere he has gone this past weekend. They have been there to greet him and greet him warmly. So as Mario leads the field around, the rest of the field will fall in place. Mario will move back into his position. How will they line up? Well, let's take a look at the starting grid. 29 cars are starting. On the pole with a new track record is Paul Tracy. Alongside, nearly a second back, is Jacques Villeneuve, the winner at Elkhart Lake. In row 2, it's Nigel Mansell. The outgoing PPG champion is trying to salvage 1 win as he leads the series. And Al Unser Jr. alongside with the 94 championship secure. He's looking to win his 9th of the season. In row 3, it's Robbie Gordon, who with a good finish today can take 4th in the points away from Michael Andretti. Alongside is Stefan Johansson, only 3 points out of the top 10 for the 94 season. In the 4th row, it's Teo Fabi, the winner of the first IndyCar race ever here at Laguna Seca. And Raul Boesel in his last race for Dick Simon. The 5th row is Emerson Fittipaldi. In 9 races at Laguna, Emo has only 3 top 5 finishes. And Ari Leyendyk, only his 2nd top 10 start of the year. The 6th row is Michael Andretti, who has led every lap in winning his last 2 starts here. And most appropriately alongside his father in his 407th and final start in an amazing career. In row 7, it's Mark Smith and Dominic Dobson. The 8th row is Jimmy Vasser and Adrian Fernandez, still looking for that first podium finish. In the 9th row, Eddie Cheever, who has been running at the finish in all 4 starts at Laguna, and Bobby Rahal, who won 4 in a row here from 84 through 87. In the 10th row, Mauricio Gugelmin and Scott Sharp. In row 11, Scott Goodyear and Hiro Matsushita. The 12th row, Willie T. Ribbs and Mike Roth. In row 13, Andrea Montermini and Parker Johnstone. The 14th row, Frank Freon and Marco Greco. And alone in the final row, Alessandro Zampedri. Failing to qualify this weekend, Giovanni Lavaggi, Ross Bentley, and Jeff Wood. So now, as they move toward the pace lap, let's go to the pits and Gary.
Quick update on 2 drivers who had problems in the final warm-up this morning, Paul. Eddie Cheever, final drive problems. A.J. Foyt just told me moments ago that they found the gremlin. It took a long, hard search, but it was a broken tooth on one of the rings inside. They've got it replaced. They think he's okay. Stefan Johansson also had a coupling break off and an oil fire that was spectacular for a time this morning. They've made the repairs. Tony Bentonhausen thinks they're in good shape. Let's go to Jan Beekes.
Well, Gary, Paul and Derek talked about the tires and the situation here. The teams have done a lot to try and prevent the tires from going off. Normally they run a lot of camber, the tires leaning in. They've stood them up, they've scrubbed them in, and then scraped them. You can see they actually scraped the surface of the tire to do everything possible. These tires will go off, just as Derek said, in 10 laps, but they're trying everything to make that as limited as possible. Paul?
We're moving very close to the final green flag of the 1994 PPG IndyCar World Series. When we come back, we'll be ready for the start. Stops, if all goes correctly, should come between the 24th and the 28th lap. This is an amazing circuit here at Laguna Seca with some tremendous elevation changes all the way up to the top of the corkscrew and then down to the pit straight.
And this is as good as it gets for road racing. 170 miles an hour down past that checkered flag that you see there. But the run to the corkscrew is as good as it gets. 8 stories high all the way to the top, and then it plunges down like a drag race. Plunges all the way down with speeds in excess of 160 miles an hour on the run to the hairpin.
Here's the corkscrew as the field starts down through. They will go into their aligned rows of 2 as they come out from under the bridge at the bottom of the corkscrew. Another special honor for Mario here today is that the retired starter of IndyCar racing, Nick Finoro, has been called back into service, and there he is to flag this race here today. Nicky has flagged so many of Mario's races right back to the very first day, and here he has crossed the country from his home in New Jersey to come back and flag this final day for Mario Andretti. And of course, there is a camera that rides over his shoulder, so you will ride to Mario as now they come onto the pit straight, and we are ready to go racing. There's the green flag. They climb the hill, and we're underway for the final run of the season. Paul Tracy leads the field into the first corner. Villeneuve is second. There's a battle for third.
And did you see what Robbie Gordon tried to do? The outside Junior, and he makes the pass, puts him off the racetrack.
More than tried to do. He got it done. Al Unser Jr. comes off the course. Emerson Fittipaldi smoking the brakes. Michael Andretti spins. Cars off the course everywhere, and Michael Andretti is hit. Michael Andretti is hit. What started as a very simple spin became very complex, and the start of all of this, Al Unser Jr. is back into the action.
So Robbie Gordon tried to go around the outside of Junior. Look at Michael's car, destroyed. He was stationary. He had to wait for all the traffic to go by. Some of the cars were unsighted. We presume it might have been Rahal, our camera car. And you could do nothing about it but plow into Michael, and Rahal and Michael out, not even half a lap.
2 corners and 2 key members of this field, Bobby Rahal